¿Dónde está la biblioteca, Pedro?
Oui, oui, oui. Baguette. Fromage.
What else do I know how to say in Spanish?
Chinga de tu madre.
No.
Hijo de puta. Pendejo de maricón.
Pendejo.
Pendejo.
Sí.
Oye, cabrón.
Me llamo Luisito.
¿Estamos listos ahora? Sí.
¿Dónde,
Pinche de cabrón.
¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
All right, so welcome to another episode of Bros Banter. And today we're going to be exploring why go to Mexico when you can bring Mexico to you in form of our staff.
Poor Mexicans. Coming to Canada.
Special shout out to our director, friend, Diego.
Spielberg.
And Metzias, his right-hand man, which is a mix. He's a mix. He's half French, half Mexican. So that makes him...
He's like the Michael Bay studying under Spielberg. So you know he's going to make some good Transformer movies with explosion. Explosion.
Boom, boom.
2 minutes of story.
Right.
Explosion again.
Yeah, well, he understands. There's no point in having stories. Anyways, off to an important subject. You want to talk about...
Oil.
Why?
Because it's so fucking expensive right now to go to the pump. I think it's actually over $2 now in some places in Quebec.
In certain places in Quebec, Vancouver has already stated that it's $2 at the pump for base.
That's nuts. That is nuts. I own a pickup. It's fucking nuts.
It depends. It really depends on how much do you love your pickup. That's how it depends.
I love it that much. But to be honest, it's fucking nuts that the price should be this high for something that, from what I understand, watching you and Dad work with oil and gas companies like half of my life, that we seem to have an abundance of in Canada.
It depends on what you call abundance, because abundance mean there's a big narrative. I'm using the word narrative because I like using that word, because a narrative is always a question of stories and who's telling the stories and what they're saying. So according to a lot of people that are all about reducing pollution, this and that, oil is actually in a very limited quantity and will be eventually soon out of oil in the future.
What future would you say? Let's be honest here.
Well, it's really difficult to discuss about, because everybody flings out numbers and there's never actually some hard science behind it, because you can't calculate the consumption of oil that willy-nilly, because there's things that are swapped in and out continuously. There's progress that are done in making new types of plastics that are not petroleum based. There's so the numbers that were given maybe 15, 20 years ago may not reflect it. So it's all a question. So I'm guessing maybe in 150 years, maybe 200 years. That's if we don't find any new basins, new basins of oil. And also depends on the extraction process, the technology that's involved in extracting oil. There's a lot of the earth that we have to be honest with ourselves that we don't fucking know. We're sending people off to the moon. That's what we want. We're sending people to the moon, to Mars, this and that. But yet we haven't fully investigated most of the earth, because 70% of the earth is water.
Yeah.
So there's tons of basin. Remember that big thing 15 years ago? There was in Mexico, Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah.
They hit a huge deposit of oil, so big that they couldn't contain it, and it just ruptured. That's how much oil there was. And it was they didn't know how big. We're talking about big companies. They didn't know how big the basin was.
So we're in Canada, known throughout the world for being a resource country. We barely have enough population to even cover all of Canada. So our population is tiny. We have all this unexplored land at our disposal.
Absolutely.
you just said that we're looking at maybe 150 years, could be even more.
Yep.
But let's go minimum. Let's say 50 years. Why? And why, oh why, is the narrative for electric vehicles so hurried? Like politicians, whether it be federal or provincial, they're saying by 2035, everyone should use electrical cars. So what's the rush? We know the technology is not there. You won't get as much mileage you want. And the mileage range you have, we're finally getting to something acceptable for the charge that you're going to get, the amount of mileage to actually, sort of compare it to a gas car. So why rush when we, like you said, we don't know what's in Canada. We don't know all these basins.
I think it's there's multiple factors. I think the actual thing is a popularity contest. We want to look green. It's better for the environment. It's true. Smog is disgusting. So there's that. And when we're talking about oil, most of us think about oil that produces, that just goes straight into gasoline. That's what everybody thinks. But oil products, you find them like anything that has petroleum. You look over anything like lip balm or stuff like that. As soon as there's petroleum in that, it's oil base. It's the same type of oil that's been refined. Plastic clothing, anything that has PVC, anything that's plastic related, it's part of that thing. Now, we're rushing towards electric because we've got this wonderful image that there's no tubes coming out of the car, so there's no gas emissions, and it's really better for the environment, which is true. But we are in a Western country, and we have to show this quasi example that we are moving ahead for the rest of the world. Let's be really brutally honest here. If you take the whole American continent, we're not even 1 billion. We're like nothing. Now, I would be pushing electric and everything electric in countries like China and India, where they're still using coal. They're still using heavy oil to heat. Let's say China, 50% of the population gets a car. That is almost 750 million new car users. Yeah, so us, North America, we're dropping the bucket. It's just ego. And a lot of people that are talking about, let's go green. I'm all for preserving the environment. But if you're willing to go 100% zero emission in your life, you ain't traveling across seas. You ain't going to chill in California unless you're hitchhiking, using your bike, and hitchhiking, you're kind of cheating, or you're renting yourself this awesome fucking kick-ass electric car, which
costs you a fortune.
Yeah. So honestly, I hate to say it, but it's like upper class.
So it's a drop. Like you said, it's a drop in the bucket. So so you're saying that our politicians, in their lack of vision, or at least economic prosperity in mind, they're the ones that are actually boggling us down and actually making myself with a pickup have to pay this expensive for gas in Canada.
Oh, here's an example. So I was reading up today. So previously, we'd done a rant on the price of gas in Quebec, saying, about how we're taxed differently. I was actually, I have to rectify myself. I was slightly wrong. There is, in Quebec, a fixed tax on the price of gas. It is 19 cents. But then on top of that, you have the federal government that puts in 10 cents. And on top of that price, which these are all taxes, we're taxing the tax with the sales tax. So it's like double taxation. So
you're paying, let's say, $2 per liter. Then on top of that, you're adding that 19.
You're 20. So if we take federal, provincial in Quebec, you're up to 29 cents just in tax.
And then you're getting taxed on $2.29.
No. Here's the way. So when we see it at the pump, It's like the price, all included. It's like when you go to a
So it's
restaurant,
all
it's
included.
tax included. So that's the way they showcase it to you. But in that price, let's say at $2, there's already 29 cents solid. And then there's a calculation that's done on top of that. So if you're taking 17, it's all automated. Let's say you got 17 liters, they add that number, and then there's the sales tax.
So 3 taxes.
Yeah, so it's like bang bang, especially in Quebec, because we consider it a tax service, so we're taxing a tax. And by the way, shout out to my man Legault, bro, you just won again Inversio's Award of the Year for being an asshole, because you decided to say, no, I won't be taking away the $19 tax.
I saw Alberta's actually willing to take it off.
They will. Jason Kenney said, I'm taking it off, because he understands that people are fucking struggling. But our man Legault wants to make sure that the province balance book looks good while the population fucking suffers.
So that's nuts. And also, this also brings another thing that comes to mind. Don't we even have oil in Gaspé? Like, we both know a company that was mandated, or at least had a certain amount of money that came in, governmental money, that was pumped into his company for him to explore in Gaspésie.
Oh, there's a rich history of all along the Gaspésian coast, even all the way from like the lower Saint Laurent, all the way to the Gaspésian coast. There's massive amounts of natural gas. There's massive amounts of oil. Now, the thing is the oil commercial or geological success? It still needs to be done. The work needs to be done. But that work for the natural gas, there was a big thing in 2006 that got completely stopped by people protesting. I hate using tree huggers because I really love nature. I go hiking. I love the nature, but I really hate when people don't decide to put their stupidity in front of saying, no, it's going to destroy the environment.
So it's a popularity contest.
It's a big popularity contest, and especially all the time when it's the same kind of people. It's not the local people that bitch most of the time.
Because they're getting work off of it.
Exactly. It's assholes that live in fucking cities like Montreal, Quebec, or Quebec City, and then they have their nice little countryside.
Same people, by the way, they'll be complaining about the new metro or the new, what is it called? The new REM line.
Yeah. They're going to be complaining. It's people and then you got artists that I love artists. Artists are the most wonderful people in the world when they do their fucking art. Shut the fuck up. I don't fuck. If I was like an amateur artist and I went up to a show and fucking say guys, I'm not really an artist, but I'm going to fucking play this shitty guitar for you. Yeah, it's like artists are the opposite. I'm not a really politician or I know anything about really current event because I live in this bubble, but I'm going to tell you what's right and wrong and how companies are fucking us. It's like stupid.
Isn't there even petroleum in the paint they use?
Absolutely. There's petroleum. There's fucking zippers. Zippers are made with fucking petroleum base. It's like, fuck, you know what? The only way you're going to get away from anything that's petroleum, go out in the middle of nowhere, like around Abitibi, buy your plot of land, or don't even tell anybody. Just fucking build a house with your own 2 hands, start skinning and fucking skinning animals, eating them and taking care of that. And you're still going to need oil to cook your food.
Yeah.
You're still going to need some sort of fucking product, a natural resource. So unless you're willing to do that, fuck it, man. Fuck it. And we know people that are natural resources that are nice. Do they want to ruin the economy? It's ruin the planet.
No,
it's they seem like, yeah, especially the ground folks.
Like the bad guys from Captain Planet. That's how they're made out to look, though. Like the bad guys. Like I think one of them was Mr. Smog or something.
Yeah, exactly, Mr. Smog.
But
But caveat. I have to make a caveat. like the big guys, like the Exxon, the BP, the Shell, they're fuckers. And they're the truest.
They're making bank right
They're
now.
making massive bank. They're using every excuse in the book. It's the war on Ukraine. Russia's the third largest producer of fucking oil.
I read that this week Russia provides for pretty much it accounts for 2/3 of Brent.
Yeah, really?
Well, that's what they
Was that fact checked, or is just some fucking asshole out there?
You know what? It could be. It came from so many sources. I did see it often though, but again, to me, well, here's another one. I'll throw at you. So, Canada, like I said, huge resource country. Mm-hmm. We've proven that. I mean, we even stopped the Keystone Pipeline, which would have been a great asset for the U.S. Now, let me throw this one at you though.
I'm just going to interrupt you for 30 seconds. Let's stop a pipeline and let's continue using trains to travel oil, because trains are much safer and
probably more expensive too
than a pipeline, which is only vocation is to do that. And if you have a pipeline spill, it's one thing. If you have a train accident, derailment, wow.
Well, isn't that what happened in Mégantic?
Of course, that's what happened. But let's not use a pipeline. Absolutely not.
Okay.
Let's not use engineers. That's their whole fucking jobs.
Let me throw another one at you. So now in the States, they're putting embargo. They're banning Russian oil. So it's supposedly a big deal.
Yeah.
They're saying because
Mr. Gorbachev,
pretty much.
we're not buying your oil. It's Joe, it's Putin. Mr. Putin.
Yeah. Old man, Sleepy Joe. Let's just call him Sleepy Joe. Sleepy Joe. No more Russian oil. Why? Because Putin's this, he's that, he's crooked. Now they want to do business in Venezuela,
Of course.
which is probably known to be one of the most crooked countries in the whole fucking world.
But they only have one thing to sell the Venezuelan is if I'm decide to like shut down business with Russia. Well, I've got this little guy down south, not too far from where I live, and I know I can probably try to squeeze his nuts to get fucking what I want at the price I want. And it's no longer Hugo Chavez that's there. He's fucking dead and gone. So it's going to be some guy that's probably corrupt as fuck. It's going to be like, yeah, let's do it, bro. I'm good. You pay me this, I get you oil, and you know what? We could be a good partnership.
Isn't it nice to have the luxury of choosing which dictator you want to work with?
Well, yeah, the history of the Americas.
So
It's the history of the Americas. Look at it. Think about
we're
it, bro.
closer. Canada's closer than Venezuela.
Yeah, but we can't pump as much oil as Venezuela. And Venezuela has a huge deposits. Huge. Massive. It's like massive, huge deposits. And they have one thing that Canada doesn't have.
Which is?
Starving fucking population.
Okay, yeah.
That you can pay them literally peanuts and they'll fucking take it, because the rich guy on top, like the president or whatever, El Comandante Supremo, if he decides to call himself that on that day, you can pay him like a truckload of cash, and then he's going to turn around and take like 100th of that and go, here, my people, I'm giving back to you. Los gringos are finally good with us.
Okay, so now U.S. gets his oil from Venezuela.
Next step, Keystone. Keystone's back in.
Keystone's back in.
Fuck right, man.
Okay, now
And you know what? BC's not going to bitch. You know what? You fucking starve a dog long enough, they're going to be like, any politician in the world of salt is going to be like, look, guys, if we get the Keystone Pipeline, you know what that means? We get it straight from the tap, bros. We can fucking put on that oil that we pump out. We put it on there. It's in the pipeline inside of 12 to 24 hours. It goes to the refinery.
It's in the pipeline.
It's in the pipeline. It's through the refinery, and it's almost, we can get it right here.
So what's the impact of the pump?
Theoretically, if we have this is the fucked up part. Theoretically, in Canada, we should have no impact. Like this right now,
should have no impact at all. Because for the
Fucking
population
Ukraine,
that we
this
have,
and, this and that, and it's fucking smoke and mirrors. It's smoke and mirrors. Historically, historical prices are for Canadian companies to make good money. The lowest, like to cover their costs and make gravy for an oil producer, he's got to make about $45 a barrel.
barrel's almost at $130.
Yeah, right now it's fucking pants off.
And that's US.
yeah. Well, what do you think's happening in
That's
Calgary?
like what? That's 145, 150.
Right now in Calgary, everybody's fucking. If you go to Calgary, everybody that's oil and gas is probably walking around with no pants. They're fucking just doing. They're like, they're going around. They're paying fucking like they're pulling out their wad of cash and going like, here I got money. Money, you, money. Or they're like
Bang,
fucking
bang,
Oprah.
bang, bang.
Yeah. They're like fucking Oprah. You get some money. You get some money. You get some money. It's fucking retarded. But at the same time, which is funny, like we said, Jason Kinney decided to he wants to take away the province's portion of the on gas because people are paying in Alberta too much for gas.
So we're getting fucked. Once again in Quebec, we're getting fucked.
So once again in Quebec, we're getting fucked. But in Calgary, he probably did this wonderful math. I could almost see Jason Kinney going like, wait a second. The barrel's at $100, 130 US, so that's 150 American, no, 150 Canadian. Wait, so that's profit for corporations that are in Calgary, so I can probably charge them more on their income tax. So I'm just going to take away the 14 cents that I'm asking, and I'm collecting it on the back end, and I look great for the people. The province is not taking that money anymore. I'm fucking getting it somewhere else.
Jesus Christ. So
Real estate is probably booming right now.
Calgary, I can imagine, yeah.
Yeah. It's a cycle. It's like this is like, if I want to be somewhere this year, I want to go to to Calgary Stampede to fucking see all the new millionaires go out and fucking like rustle some cows and be like, ain't it America?
We have to get Glenn here. Glenn from Cuda Energy. Who
got ass fucked.
He did again by the tree huggers.
Tree huggers. Also Quebec, the province of Quebec has such a disgusting history with oil, because you got companies that became oil and gas companies that are just mostly there to like siphon the tit off of the shareholders. Like they're like, yeah, we're exploring. Oh, we got this, we got that, and every fucking year they just make more flow throughs and they pay their salaries, and it's like it's never been a legitimized industry in Quebec because we got hydroelectricity. That's the problem.
Yeah,
we have hydroelectricity in Quebec, so it's like, well, we don't need oil as a energy source. We've got hydroelectricity, and right now it's even better for anybody that's like pro electrical cars. It's I
saw another one that'll floor you. So the government of Quebec, I think, passed or is about to pass a law to allow the price of hydroelectricity to follow inflation. Think about that. So not only is Legault not going to let us he's not going to give us a tax break on oil or on gas. On top of that, he's going to make the price per kilowatt follow inflation. So that's probably like a 5% hike or almost 7% hike in the next year.
While people are fucking struggling, price of real estate has never been higher. Price of renting has never been higher. Price of food's never been higher. Price of gas has never been higher.
And soon, price of electricity.
Electricity, it's like this man is on a one-man mission to never leave his house. Like, I swear to God, thank God we're not that militant in Quebec, because, man, if it was in the States, motherfucker would be dodging bullets. It's like honestly,
I'm getting depressed here, man. I'm getting legitimately depressed because we have all these resources.
Yeah.
And we're we're not even benefiting from it.
Fuck no. We got fucking, you know what?
Canadian citizen, Quebecois, I can't get a break.
I'm waiting for our Chinese overlords to come in and make a back alley deal and be like, okay, now we own half of the Canadian Shield. Thank you.
They should.
They will.
They'd probably be fairer.
Well, yeah, on surface.
Communism. What is it? Workers of the world, unite.
Yeah. Except for a small percentage of us, they're going to be filthy rich millionaires and billionaires, but that's okay. But no, it's complete insanity. It's complete insanity. And the thing is it's not even justifiable. Like I was reading, like there's some provinces are pushing really hard for the federal government to start an investigation in price gouging by the oil.
Haven't we all know that happens?
Well, it was like the funniest thing. It's like, yes, let's start an investigation on something that is quite obvious. Is there price gouging? I don't know, guys. You tell me. It's like you're
that's our tax money going right there to that committee.
Yeah, and meanwhile, back in Saudi Arabia, they're fucking happy.
Well, that's what I read. So the U.S. they tried calling Saudi Arabia and said, "Listen, what can you do for us?" And Saudi said, "Saudi's not even picking up the phone right now."
Fuck no, it's fucking it's party central down there. Like it's raining cash. They're like
every day.
People that are producing oil in Saudi are going like, it's Christmas all over. Oh wait, we don't celebrate. Fuck it, we will celebrate Christmas every fucking day.
So essentially,
you know how much it costs? Like a rock bottom price for Saudi to make a
no. Please,
OPEC?
Please depress me more.
I think they still make out money at $19 a barrel. But
during COVID, we saw it drop all the way to 14.
Yeah.
They were flooding the market with oil.
Of course.
Why not? They were still.
They got to sell. There's one thing people don't realize. In those countries that are mostly deserts, you can't fucking eat sand. That's the number one thing. So, you know what they harvest in most of those countries? Money. That's what they harvest. Black oil equals cash. Cash means things they can buy shit. And now with the imports and everything, they can legitimize raising the prices. Like, oh well, I'm getting fucking food. The supply chain has been affected. So
yeah, that's the big excuse we're hearing right now. So COVID killed the supply chain, and now oil. Forget oil. Now Russia invading Ukraine is cogging up the supply chain again. Oil, but what's interesting is that while one dictator or let's just say one asshat in Russia is following his narrative, there's another asshat somewhere else that's making bang. In fact, there's a few of them.
Of course. Why do you think if Russia was such a beating heart of oil, you think the United States would be like, oh, no, we're just going to put more sanction. Mr. Gorbachev, it's Putin. Mr. Putin, we're not buying your oil anymore. No, they fucking invaded Iraq and they and fought against Iraq for less. Remember that whole Kuwait thing in the 90s?
Yeah.
That was about oil. It still is about oil. So it's like for less. It's like, fuck it. No, we got to.
So oil pretty much is the equivalent to gold in this world.
Well, yeah, it's like, without going too crazy about it, but okay, there's this great film director that made an amazing movie, Denis Villeneuve. He made Dune.
Yeah.
Now, you won't see the parallel is Dune was actually written about the oil crisis in the Middle East. Yeah. And it was written in the 1950s, and it's all about the oil. You're just changing the word oil by spice. Do a parallel. If you want to travel, you got to use spice to travel to anywhere. The spice must flow. Guess what, motherfucker? That's oil. The oil's got to flow if you want to fucking go to point A to point B. It's a parallel, and people are.
And I loved actually that movie. It was great.
I haven't seen it yet.
I saw the originals. The originals on Space back in the day were great.
Oh, the miniseries.
The miniseries was great.
Okay, don't watch the David Lynch.
No, it was.
No, David Lynch it's fucking weird. David Lynch is fucking weird. But yeah, but the book I read the first two. After that, it's just garbage. But it's all about oil controlling. He who controls the spice controls the destiny of the galaxy. Well, guess what? It's a big metaphor for oil, and everybody gets their slice right now. Everybody's getting their slice. The guy that's producing, he's getting $130 barrel, and then he's getting his slice because his production, this and that. So if it's back in the day, this is about 10 years ago, cost of production to net out, to make break even was $45 a barrel. So right now he's making $90 of profit. Okay, that gets shout out to the transportation. Transportation. Well, fucking this pipeline doesn't pay by itself, boys. Meter, click. The refinery, they get their percentage. So by the time you get at the pump, everybody's made maximum profit. Right now, the big bastards, they're actually like Mr. Smithers. I'm like, yes, lap it up. And everybody's going like, it's because of Putin, that goddamn bastard. He's making prices too expensive, and the COVID really got us. And no, man, you're getting fucked.
And you have been getting fucked for years.
Yeah, and your government is also saying like, yeah, no, fuck, I'm getting my cut.
Oh,
so it's only the guy at the pump. The asshole that's out there in -20, fucking fucking freezing his hand and going like, wow, I put in $20 of gas, and I've got exactly 7 liters. Awesome.
I'm good for 2-3 days, pretty much.
Yeah, I haven't filled. You were saying in Fast and Furious, what does Vin Diesel say?
Oh man, I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
Well, it should be redacted to, I live my life a quarter tank at a time.
Oh, jeez.
That's what I'm fucking doing.
So I was coming into this discussion pretty excited, but now I'm gonna leave pretty depressed because So what happens? How do prices come lower?
Prices come lower. In the real
Will they?
In the real world or in the fantasy world? In my fantasy world, where I still believe in, truth, justice, and the government will step in and be like, "You fuckers are fucking everybody. This is wrong. We're dropping the price. We're fixing the prices."
The government that's supposed to serve the people, right?
Yeah. Bring out his Justin pulls out his fucking flaming sword, and goes, price per liter is fixed, $1.50. Everybody gets paid, and the people don't feel like they've been cheated because you really fucked them for an extra 45 cents. That's what I wish would happen. That's not what's gonna happen.
What's gonna happen?
It's gonna be on the news. It's gonna be like a play of the news. If Russian tensions end, miraculously, price is gonna have to go down because they've constructed this
will
narrative.
They go down that much?
So here's the thing. So right now, this is a perfect setup for a political savior play. So if I was Biden and Trudeau, I'd be talking to Venezuela and fucking be like, let's hammer a fucking great ass deal between Venezuela, US, Mexico, Canada, make it all like our continent is working together.
Sort of like a new OPEC.
Yeah, like a greater extended NAFTA where, we're self-sufficient and reliant, and we've done this because
we don't need Europe anymore.
Exactly. We have to show that we're not going to break into the will of Russia. And the price is going to probably dip to $1.60. Because it's honestly, I am very, very, very skeptical that it will ever go down below $1.50. I think that psychological barrier, that push, that every newspaper, every politician is fucking pushing us. It's like, man, inflation. Shit ain't cheap no more. That's like, honestly, I'm waiting for a politician to actually say, inflation, guys, shit ain't cheap.
You think these? It's okay.
It's gonna be a play. It's gonna be a Showtime special.
So if you're an investor, you want to take advantage of this because that's the whole thing. Are you looking at junior exploration companies right now? Or are you looking at producers, small producers that'll get swallowed up by bigger producers?
You're looking at those two, and you're looking at anything. And if you're really smart, you're looking at people that are small juniors. They're going to start picking up around the Montana or the traditional basins, because they're going to be back online because the price is right. And look at anything that's technologically geared towards servicing the oil and gas industry. So, and go crazy. If it's cleanup, if it's new technology for drilling, if it's like anything that is service industry, because that's what I believe now. From this point on, I think as soon as there's a pop in a commodity, I would look at the service industry that caters to that, because they're automatically going to go. And if they're
going to follow suit.
Yeah. And if they're a good company, regardless of the up and down of that commodity, the service is going to be needed. It's like those guys that sell all that tech for monitoring crops, it could be fruits and vegetables, it could be flowers, it could be marijuana, it could be anything that has to do with that larger sphere. Go for it, man. Go crazy, because that tech's still going to be there, and people are still going to buy it. Like fucking people that are creating systems to disperse water.
What about Quebec? You think they'll come back on their law, which stopped our buddy Glenn in Gaspé?
Fuck no.
We have oil there.
I know, but you'd have to have a fucking you have to have a political leader that's actually fucking intelligent. And right now, and the closest rival that he has is a big time. He knows that his basing of people that would vote for him are all fucking pseudo intellectuals that are tree huggers that like the concept of green energy. You want to laugh? You want to laugh?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna
laugh, because I think I need one right now.
I'm gonna give you the best laugh ever. So, wind power, late 90s, early 2000. Yeah, let's go into wind power. So wind power, those big
I see
those big things.
Yeah,
turn,
near
like,
Saint Remy there. I see tons of them on the 30.
You go up the way to Gaspé and this and that. So those projects were actually funded by the provincial government, created jobs. They don't really produce that much electricity, and each of those wings has a shelf life. They're not forever. So you got to change them.
But they don't produce that much?
No, it's like David Copperfield couldn't make this magic trick fucking work. It'd be like, it doesn't make any quantifiable sense.
We're going to spend more money on it.
Because it looks good. But when they started it, you had people that were railing against it because it was killing birds and it was ruining the view.
Of course.
So it's like, and this is what I love about Quebec. We got to protect the environment. Okay, well, we're thinking about, wind power. It's killing birds. We got to protect the birds, and it's ruining my vista. Okay, what should we do? You know what what people want? They all want to work for the government. So that's what after spending X amount of time in Quebec in their natural resources, I figured it all out. 90% of the population of Quebec dreams to work for the Quebec government. That's what they want. They want to be nurses, teachers,
That's not funny, dude. That's depressing.
It is fucking, it's hilarious because it's like, well, what do you want? What do you want? But y'all want these motherfucking things. Y'all want the new iPhones. You want the nice electric car that you get a big discount from the provincial government and the federal government, and then you can go like, ha ha, SO, I'm fucking giving you the finger. Fuck off. I'm paying nothing because my electricity is so cheap. Until the inflation hits, then it's going to be like,
Well, on that note,
and on that note, fuck that note. That is the only thing that I have to say is hold on to your fucking jock straps. Get yourself some tattoos on your knuckles that say hold fast, because how it's going to end, I don't fucking know. And I guarantee you one thing. You're not going to win.
yeah, because the other guys are making money.
They're running bank. But if you want to do your homework, check out some good companies that are related to oil and gas, some juniors, some.
We'll have them on the Invercio platform eventually.
Yeah, look at these guys. They're trying to make a buck. Right now, it's pants off. So I wouldn't touch anything that's remotely in the oil and gas industry, because right now I can only see Deal Central. Like I'm surprised that nobody's fucking pumping out more deals. And I'm like, hey, these guys
Unless you
oil.
find an exploration company that's worthwhile.
Yeah, but it's like honestly, I think we're at I get the feeling we're at the top of a cycle. Like it's $130, it's $130 a barrel.
Yeah.
I think like and it was nearly impossible to fucking track it. It just went straight up, a complete Liam Chung.
Let's not go there.
Straight arrow upwards. And I think right now we're hitting the base, we're hitting the top, and we're just gonna see.
So can you put that in a spreadsheet for me, Jean-Michel?
Absolutely. It's called a straight line going straight up, followed by stairs. It's like a workout. You know,
geez.
You get your inclination, then you do stairs down.
On that, guys, thanks for logging in. Thanks for watching our podcast. We appreciate the time you guys are giving us.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Angry COO on Twitter. I haven't posted anything. I got to start learning. Could somebody send me a text how to learn to properly post shit? Follow us on our YouTube, Rumble page, and
we're
LinkedIn.
Everywhere, guys. We're everywhere, guys. Find us. You'll find us. And we know you will.
And right now, spring is right around the corner. So let's all hop onto a bike.
Yeah, jump on your bicycle, guys, because it's going to be an expensive summer.
Yeah. Zoom, zoom.